Hey friends, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Got another video for you this week. Today we're going to talk about vocals. A little simple trick to get some more air on your vocals so they cut through the mix without having to really boost an EQ like crazy on your vocals and make them harsh. So this is a classic example of using parallel processing, multing. This is a great technique for anything from compression to distortion to, in this case, getting more air on your vocal. We're going to basically keep our vocal as natural as possible, but do our processing on a separate track. That's the key here. So you can use this technique to get that vocal to have that modern air cutting through the mix type vocal that still can sound musical and still can sound natural, and yet somehow has that sparkle on it that we've grown accustomed to and really can make the difference, especially in a dense mix with a lot of guitars. So here's an example of the vocal pretty much mixed and sounding pretty good.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes, and I think you think I can't control the curse that makes me feel alive, so close your eyes and fall asleep tonight, but I can't seem to dream the things that...
Sounds great, right? But there's a lot of guitars, there's a lot going on, and I just want a little more air on his vocal so that it does cut through the mix. And so what you can do is, obviously you could EQ his or her track. In this case, I have a little bit of a shelf already on my SSL, a 1.5 dB shelf boost at 8K, which gave it a little bit of sweetness. That's a sweet spot on this EQ, and I do that a lot. But that's not enough to really make it cut through, and I don't really want to push the EQ hot. I want to keep it natural. So the beautiful thing is we can send a copy of the vocal through a send. So in this case, I have created a pre-fader send called Vox Air. And you do this in any DAW. Just look for your sends, and it basically sends a digital copy of your track at whatever volume you want. In this case, I've chosen the pre button. Pre-fader simply means that this signal will disappear and exit the channel before the fader down here at the bottom, the actual track fader, which means I can pull the volume fader down or up or mute the track, and none of those things will affect the volume or signal of this send. It will always send at this volume. It's unaffected. It happens before the fader. Just an important side note. So I like to do that pre-fader, and you send it to a brand new empty auxiliary track or bus track, depending on how your DAW calls it. In this case, in Pro Tools, I'm using an aux track. I have a track here called Vox Air, and what it does is it sends just a copy. So if you've got the lead vocal here, let's get rid of some of these delays too, because they're going to drive us nuts. So here's the lead vocal.
Well, I think too much, eliminating...
And then if I just solo this auxiliary track, we should still hear the vocal coming through.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my...
Right, so I'll turn that up.
Well, I think too much, eliminating...
So that's the copy coming through, even though the lead vocal channel is muted. So now we have literally a copy. It keeps all the processing that I've done. It's a literal copy now on its independent track with its independent fader. So here's what we do to it. We start to process it in an extreme way. So what I've got is a series of plugins that are trying to just do one thing, which is make this a super bright, airy, thin, and compressed vocal. So the first thing in the chain, I'll turn these off one by one, is Slate's Revival, which is simply a harmonic exciter, and has a top end and a bottom end. He calls them shimmer and thickness. I love plugins that are simple, so this is great. 2 knobs. So what I've done is basically added as much of the top end harmonic content as I can. We're adding to the signal. It's not already there.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
Whereas before,
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
right? So it's not an EQ boost, it's adding upper harmonics to it. So then I took it a step further with his Neve EQ and tried to boost a ton of that top end. Now that I've got more top end in there, let's boost it with the top shelf here, which is usually way up. Someone pointed this out in a previous video because I didn't know where the Neve 1073 shelf boost was. I think it's at 12K, so hopefully I remembered that right. So we're boosting a ton in that upper range here, as well as a high pass filter, rolling everything below 300 off. So let's add that.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
So even more extreme and thinner, we're rolling off the low end. So again, before, we'll add each one in succession, the harmonic exciter and the EQ.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
Whew. All right. And then we've obviously added a lot of signal now. So I used his trimmer to turn the volume back down.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
So it would be a relatively similar volume. I don't want to make it a loud track. I just want to keep it at a healthy level. So I just turned it down. And then I did add a compressor after the fact to sort of just keep, to close my eyes when he goes up with a bigger note, much more volume. So I wanted to compress it with an 1176 to clamp down on that.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
And also make it just more aggressive. Okay, so we've gone from this, and I'll turn it on, natural to extreme.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
All we did there was to create a new palette to play with, a new sound to blend in with the original vocal. So I'm going to turn the send down, and then let's turn the lead vocal on. I'll turn off the vocal air track, which is now that thinned out, brightened, boosted vocal, and listen to the lead vocal the way it was, and our ears will have to adjust because now they're used to the brightness, and we'll then blend in this vocal air sound.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
Pretty cool, huh? So let's start it, and then I'll take away the vocal air.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes.
So now it's very subtle now. Now, if you're listening on good headphones or good speakers and you've got this at full HD, where they haven't compressed all the top end away, you will notice that all this fader is doing, the vocal air fader is doing for us now, is adding air. It's adding just that nice crispy top end without having to destroy or dismantle the naturalness of the original vocal. So you can have a natural vocal that has, if you're just saying, oh, I just wish I had a little bit more air to it, a little bit more top end, but boosting it on the EQ too much makes the vocal sound more harsh. This is the secret for you, is to blend it in. Now let's do it in context with the mix. I'll mute the vocal air track, and we'll add just a little bit more of this vocal air to the vocal. And what that's going to do is, again, you'll hear the vocal, but now you'll be able to perceive the vocal a little bit more as it cuts through the denseness of the mix. Let's add our delays back. And here we go.
Well, I think too much, eliminating time to close my eyes, to close my eyes. And I think you think I can't control the curse that makes me feel alive. So close your eyes and fall asleep tonight. But I can't seem to dream the things that make me feel alright. I need to write my life right. Pull this thread tight. Bite my tongue till I have one. Forget what you have done. Flee from hindsight. Push with all my might. Bite my tongue till I have one. Forget.
Do you hear it in that part right there in the chorus? Bite my tongue till I have one. You notice it in the second vocal. It cuts out better.
Bite my tongue till I have
Yeah, a lot more clarity. It gives you clarity without having to boost the crud of the EQ on the actual vocal track. So there you go, the vocal air trick. Again, taking multiple processing on multiple tracks, the parallel concept, and this is just another way to use it, and people have been doing it for years. It's just something to have as a tool in your bag of mixing tricks. Leave me a comment if you like this video, if it helped you out. Let me know if you're using something similar to the Vox Air trick. And if you haven't already subscribed to the videos, let me know that you like them, and join the mailing list if you want even more bonus content sent to your inbox every single week, stuff that I don't post anywhere else. Have a great week. We will see you on another video soon.